I think in terms of delivery as a service,
Yeah.
Netflix would probably have one of the most sophisticated data management systems. Or would you say that a company into biotechnology and cancer research has more complex databases?
So, you're implicitly you're bringing up a whole subject, which, I'm
Okay,
just going to break it down into different parts. So one of them
okay,
is Netflix is of necessity is in the cloud, right? So when
okay.
the cloud came along, a whole
Yeah,
different category of databases came along,
okay.
and because the volume was much bigger, and
Right.
so people were able to trade off, saying, we don't necessarily want the very latest instantaneous data. A little bit delay is fine, but we
Okay,
want to be able to manage large volumes of data.
okay.
Okay. And secondly, we are not going to create relational databases. We're just going to take this video and put it in a file, and we're going to put it on the disk. And then we are going to
Okay.
put some metadata, which we call some fields that say, okay,
Right.
this is a film, this is the director, etc., etc. And we're just going to search on the metadata. And then when
Okay.
the user, like, you go and you find on Netflix, which film you want, you are
Right.
not going through the film itself. You're going through the metadata. And
Okay.
then when you pick one, then it goes and uh, pulls it. But in this
Right.
case, there's an added thing called a cache. So in between
Okay.
the database and your application, the most often accessed information is kept closer to your application, because
Okay.
it is most likely to be accessed. So
Okay.
it needs to be accessed quickly, because lots of people are asking for it. So
Right.
when Netflix says to you that these are the top 10, they have cached all of them, so you can get them instantly. Now, if you go
Okay.
searching for some old one, then it's going to take
Okay.
you a while. But even then, the response time is very good, and they
Yeah.
have created a whole framework on in the cloud to make it very reliable. In fact,
Right.
if I may digress just a little bit, Netflix
Yeah.
has created. What happens in the cloud and at these large volumes is you have hundreds, maybe thousands of servers, and
Right.
each of them is of a different age. So any day one of them might fail, just because it has come to the end of its
Right.
life, or the disk
Right.
might fail because of errors. So constant failure you have to deal with. And plus, there can be bugs in your network. And so they have created a resilient framework by creating something that a test environment which deliberately causes servers to crash. Okay.
Okay.
And they have to build
Okay.
this, they have to build a network that survives
Okay.
in spite of these crashes.
Okay.
And that
Okay.
test framework is called Chaos Monkey.